I made other videos about this, and this is like the 90th time I probably mentioned it. But basically, like I said, Lucifer White Star Lines, me, with an S, though. Basically, Belfast shipyard, and also, like I said, I bought Germany, or owned Germany, bought all the land. I had all my people. What I did was I just had my people go out. It was from the Renault manufacturing complex. Basically, I was a very rich person, and basically I had my people go out to all the different houses and talk to all the people and basically pretty much pay them for their house. But I let them go ahead and stay in their house for another generation or two more generations, and they would be rental or whatever. But basically buying the country parcel by parcel. Anyway, like I said, most people, once I told them, I was like, well, you don't really have to leave your house now. I just want, the right to be able to move you around or put you into another house, or, I just don't want there to be, basically I'm becoming ownership of your country pretty much, basically. It was something like that where basically, because I owned Renault manufacturing complex, because I owned all the, the car manufacturing complexes, basically I had my people go out door to door and have people sign contracts, or basically, do contracts where basically I own their land and had the right to pretty much, dig under them, dig over them, even be able to be like, well, you're going to have to go live over there inside of that place over there, basically. But they could stay in their house until I needed their land, basically. I was going to work out some sort of deal like that where basically I had my people go around and basically pay people for their houses and their land, basically. So basically, I had right of ownership to their land. Like I said, that's one of the things about me, Lucifer Star, and me, Brian, is basically, I'm not one of those like conquer, kind of people. I'm more of I'm a businessman, and I just want the right to be able to, build a factory next door to your house, or something like that, or basically be like, well, this place is contaminated, you have to go live over there, but we'll build you a new house or something like that, or so, where basically they're being paid for their property value. But back then, property values were almost next to nothing, so I didn't pay out all that much money, realistically. Anyway, but basically, you're my people now. Ha! No. Anyway, something like that, but basically, much more understanding and normal and business-like. Like I said, not a psychopath, but basically from the Renault manufacturing complex point of view, and from blah, 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 basically. Anyway, though, but we're talking about 16-inch guns and basically AK-47s, and also basically the M16. Like I said, that's why the Rodney, one of the reasons why, later on I realized that it had 16-inch guns. America, or my German scientist actually told me this. My German scientist said, well, the 16-inch guns will be able to, same penetration, be able to shoot further, or my scientist basically. And I said, oh, cool, all right. Anyway, we're using them for busting rock, basically, and basically, doing explosions in Panama and other places like that, and possible defense. Anyway, I didn't build that many battleships. I'd only build a battleship like every 5 years or every 2 years. I'd build a new and better battleship, basically. Like every 2 or 5 years, I'd be like, let's build a new battleship. So basically, about every 5 years or 15 or 8 years or so, we'd build a new battleship or whatever. As technology advanced, as things got better, basically every couple of years, I'd be like, let's build a battleship. Let's build a ship with guns. And then, later on I'd be like, okay, let's build another one. So, and like I say, after about 150 years or 200 years of being in existence, well, I had a few battleships. Like I said, there's a picture of basically all my White Star battleships all together. Basically this line of battleships, going from biggest to smallest. And basically, it basically was like the last, 25 or 50 years of basically battleship making, or shipbuilding, basically. And they were all painted white, of course. Lucifer White Star. Anyway, though, I didn't really use them for anything, I mean, technically I could stomp you, but it wasn't like that. They were just, basically cool new battleships. Silly stuff, really. Like I said, just like my aircraft carriers, I had like 3 or 4 or 5 aircraft carriers. Every couple of years I'd build a new aircraft carriers. Basically, now this is the newest one. The first one was basically an old ship that I was like, all right, put a deck on it. Let's see if we can land some aircraft on it. Okay, guess not. Maybe out of wire. And we actually had them like landing, where they would fly into a pole, basically. But that was kind of dangerous and blah, blah, As ships move up and down, blah blah blah, and you could get skewered by the landing rod or whatever, or landing, bar. I don't like to say rod because of my father. Never name a ship after your family. Okay, let that be a lesson. Um, so basically, that's another reason why I put the M16s with basically the American government. Rodney liked the M16 better, blah, 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 blah. People like the M16 better because they were blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I'm like, I like the AK-47 better personally. I like big bullets. Anyway, though, but because M16, whatever. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, though, but the correlation, the commemoration between like the 16-inch gun, Battleship of America, the USS Rodney or Nelson or whatever, and basically the M16 and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and because I like to have commemorations, so that's why Russia, China, and everything, they had AK-47s and the 18-inch guns, which, you're not supposed to kill each other. It's just that this is my one side, that's my other side, and blah, 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 and don't kill each other. Anyway, whatever. But I was doing that kind of things. I was basically, also plus, if a Chinese shoots someone, and also there's also Germany, and they use a different caliber than everybody else. And it was so basically, if you get shot, it's like, this is an M16 bullet. America! Or this is not, Germany! And so I was kind of doing like that, where basically my different forces would use different calibers. So, if there was a firefight, I could be like, France, and basically like that, and that's why I was kind of like trying to keep things separated because, it just made it easier, I thought. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I was kind of trying to go along those lines, with everything. So basically, blah, blah, and, after a while, just kind of, whatever. Anyway, as there's more important things to do. But anyway, that was one of the things I was doing, basically. And whatever, you're supposed to be friends. Anyway, like I say, Germany was basically an ally, except for, I don't know about Hitler or whatever, blah, blah, blah. There were basically starvation and death and stuff like that, going on in Germany, and problems and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the fuck? What's going on with my old country? Why are there problems over there? So, and so we're going back. I said, and now we're going back to Germany because, like I said, I wasn't just going to, and that's also why basically, everyone was like, yee, because like Lucifer's on deck, like they used to say when I would invade or whatever, whenever I would do things. So, it's the full power of White Star Lines. Basically what is the world conglomerate. Like people would say when they were doing evacuations or basically going into Germany and going into Europe, you could literally almost walk from one ship to another ship across the ocean to Germany. That was basically all hands on deck. And basically, and the earth like like it was glorious. Like I said, I love you, Ireland. You guys are, I love all my people because, basically, some of the most epic things in the universe was basically me we're going into Germany and we're going to find out what the problem is. And whatever. Anyway, yeah. Basically, yes, when I did move, I could, and that's another thing too, is I don't think that Hitler and a lot of people, I was just kind of like in the background, just kind of like, just a shipping company, just a shipping company, just a shipping company. And then, there's that point in time when basically there was war and destruction and basically World War. And I was like, all right, that's it. And that's when people were like, it's like, why, yes, I did build 2/3 of the world's ships. I technically do have a world ownership of all the ships in the ocean and most of the aircraft. So, and that's why World War I and World War II and everything else got kind of weird because, like, basically, White Star Lines, it stretches out like a star, basically into all these countries everywhere, like a big starfish. And it's like, and I'm basically that leader, the person, the creator, the leader, the owner of all these, inventor of all these things. And basically, so it's like, there's a problem, and, and like I say, it's basically America, Germany, Russia. I had ties into all these different countries. I had companies all over the world. Everywhere, everything from Panama to, these are all the whole world and other planets. So that's also probably why Japan said it's like a great dragon has awakened. That's basically, I was like, I am Lucifer Star. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so basically we were going to go into Germany and find out what was going on over there, as America has Lucifer White Star. So anyway, and if I had to go back to America to kick someone out of the White House, fine. Basically, that's why a lot of people are like, because it's like, why, yes. Everything from basically, Helena Troy, ring a bell. Those are my shipyards too.